A very good morning, class 11th. So, after Euglena, we are going to start with our another protista group, that is the slime molds. And slime molds, they are saprophytic. They are saprophytic in nature and they are known as decomposers, right? They are decomposers. Decomposer means they grow on dead and decomposing matters. They grow on decaying twigs, they grow on decaying leaves, right? And basically they engulf the organic material, organic matter from these dead matter. It can be leaves, it can be other decomposing matter. Normally they are found in dark and damp places, so they are the known as the decomposers also. If we talk about their cell, inside the cellular structure, now if we talk about, because this was about their habitat, they are saprophytic, they are decomposers, you can find them in the dark and damp places. Now let's talk about their cellular structure. See, they are uninucleate. Now many times students do here mistake, and I will let you know that where will you will make a mistake. See, they are uninucleate. Now most of the times their cells, they remain together, right? There is a, as you can see, this outer layer, this is known as mucilaginous sheath. This is the outer covering, outer sheath. And because now inside this sheath, as you can, this is one cell, this is another cell, this is third, this is fourth, there are lots of cells which remain together, and that is why they look like a protoplasmic mass. And this protoplasmic mass, it is known as plasmodium. This complete mass of cells is known as protoplasmic mass, and this protoplasmic mass is known as plasmodium. So plasmodium, they are true slime molds. Now there must be coming in your mind the plasmodium, there is, which is causing the, which cause malaria in the human beings. Then please let me clarify you here that they are the sporozoans, right? They are not the slime molds. That protozoan is that kind of protozoa, that is a protozoa. Basically that protista is a protozoa. This plasmodium, it is the cellular structure. It is not the, we are talking about the plasmodium organism, it is the cellular structure we are giving a name, and these are the true slime molds. Okay, they do not have any cell wall. Slime molds do not have any cell wall, only plasma membrane is present. Now because, as you can see, this is the complete mass of the cells, so their protoplasmic content means their cytoplasmic and nucleus, they fuse, so they appear like multinucleate structure. But let me again make you clear that they are uninucleate. They appear as multinucleate structure because of this protoplasmic mass, right? Because everything is just joined together, so they appear as the multinucleate structure. Now let's talk about their reproduction. If it is a vegetative, they reproduce through vegetative, then the process is through fragmentation. They can means they separate it into the different fragments and they can reproduce. And in the asexual reproduction, that is by the spore formation. And spore formation, or the spores, they are formed in the structures which are called sporangia. They sporangia, they are present on a vertical structure, and this structure is known as sporangia, right? And this sporangia is arriving from this vertical structure, and this sporangia, it has spores, right? So when the spores are released, they germinate to form this kind of irregular structure. right? And this irregular structure which looks like amoeba, it known as myxoamoeba. It is not amoeba, it looks like amoeba and it is known as myxoamoeba. So now एग्जामिनर के लिए बहुत इजी है आपको यहाँ पे घुमाना, राइट? अमीबा, मैंने पहले स्टार्टिंग में हमने जो एक टेबल किया था, आई टोल्ड यू दैट अमीबा इज अ प्रोटोजोआ. What is myxoamoeba? Myxoamoeba is a slime mold because when it reproduces through the spore formation, it gives a structure which looks like amoeba and it is known as myxoamoeba. But sometime it give rise to the flagellated structure, biflagellated structure. This kind of biflagellated structure which has one, as you can see, one long flagella and one short flagella. And if we look carefully here, this flagella is broader, little broader, broader at the base, and then when tip is very narrow, right? So it has long flagella and one short flagella, and one contractile vacuole is present here. So flagella is not the same size, flagella is irregular size, and that is whip lap type flagella. So please mark it now. Please mark this, that whip lap flagella, it is a property of the slime molds. Now here base is broader, tip is narrow, and this kind of flagella is known as whip lap flagella, and this kind of flagellated structure is known as swarm cell. Now let me one more time let me tell you that either it reproduce through vegetative or that is through the fragmentation, right? If it reproduce through asexual mode, then it reproduce by the spore formation. Now spore formation that give rise to two kind of structure. If it forms amoeba like structure, then we will call it myxoamoeba. If it forms biflagellated structure, then it will be known as swarm cell. And this biflagellated structure has one short flagella, one long flagella, and which is whip lap type. So if I ask you, whip lap type flagella is observed in slime molds, right? So here the point which you have to note down, that under favorable condition, usually slime molds, they form these plasmodium, these aggregates, these protoplasmic mass, that is the plasmodium. But during unfavorable condition, they form, this plasmodium forms small fruiting bodies which are having spores under the unfavorable condition, and these spores, they are dispersed by wind. And how they survive? Because they are having very specialized true walls which can survive under harsh conditions. So that is the difference between that. Under favorable condition, it will normally form the plasmodium body, and on the unfavorable condition, there will be the spore formation, right? This is about the slime molds. Next type of protist group which we have to talk about is protozoans. Protist, and you know the examples which we are, this is the most diverse group which have different kind of locomotion. Amoeba is there, paramecium is there, plasmodium is there. So all protozoans, they are heterotrophs. That is why this group is known as animal like protist. These protozoan protist, they are known as animal like protist, and they live as predators or parasites. They do not have any cell wall, and mainly there are four groups which we have to discuss one by one. Amoeba, in which amoeba is included, that is amoeboid. Those which have flagella, they are flagellated protozoan. Those which have cilia all over the body, that is the ciliated protozoans. And then the last one, in which the plasmodium is there, sporozoans, right? So these four groups, They are our protozoans protist, and I'm going to start with the amoeboid protozoans. There is a very common example which you all of you know very carefully, that is the amoeboid protozoans. In the common, very common one is the unicellular protist protozoan, that is the amoeba proteus. This is very most common one. Its shape is definitely irregular. It is uninuclear. Single nucleus is present here, and it is found in fresh water. If you look at its structure, the outer, these false feet, they are known as pseudopodia, and this is the plasma membrane. Now look here, this granule structure. First look at the structure which is present in the corner. Dense, very dense, and this is the cytoplasm. So amoeba has two kind of cytoplasm. One is very dense, which is outer, present at the outer side, and this is known as gel. This is known as gel. And inside, that is very liquefied, watery. This is not dense, and this is known as inner cytoplasm. It is watery and it is known as soul. So outer cytoplasm, it is known as gel, and inner cytoplasm is known as soul. Many times students ask me, ma'am, can't they be interchanged? So please mark it. Gel can be changed into soul, and soul can be converted into gel, right? They are interconvertible. Then they have storage vacuoles. This is known as contractile vacuole. And pseudopodia, you know that they are used for locomotion as well as for capturing of food. Mostly the cell organelles, they are present in the inner cytoplasm, right? And the contractile, what is the purpose of having the contractile vacuole? It helps in the osmoregulation. As you know that they are present in the fresh water, so whenever there is the change in the conditions, suppose there is the change in the environment, then that is regulated by the contractile vacuole, right? Plasma membrane is the normal one. It is made up of your proteins and the phospholipids, and their function, the function of pseudopodia, helps in moving and helps in capturing the food. The parasitic example, those which are parasitic, those protozoans, amoeboid protozoans which are parasitic, the example is ant amoeba, right? Otherwise, those who are normally getting their food, that is your amoeba proteus, and parasitic form is ant amoeba, right? The next group is flagellated protozoans. Flagellated, those which have flagella. And very famous example here is Trypanosoma gambians, right? In flagellated protozoan, I already told you that there is the locomotion structure is flagella. Number can be changed, number can be vary. It can be one flagella in few cases, it can be many flagella in few cases. Like if I specifically tell you about Trypanosoma, then it is uniflagellate. It have a single flagella, right? And most of them, they are endoparasites present inside the host, and they are pathogenic, means they can cause diseases. They can cause diseases, right? Method of reproduction, that is by binary fission, but in the longitudinal way. So binary fission through the longitudinal method, that is the mode of reproduction in the flagellated protozoans. Now let me take the example of Trypanosoma. It is uniflagellate, single flagella, endoparasites. This question comes in exam, that it is digenetic, completes its life cycle in two hosts, because we are saying it is endoparasite. Endo, the word which we have to stress here is inside, right? So one host is definitely man and second host is CC fly. uh, Actually what happened is, which is the scientific name of CC fly is Glossina palpalis. And how this travel, this CC fly, this toxin, basically this protozoa, which is your flagellated protozoa, right? That is trypanosoma. Trypanosoma goes from salivary gland of CC fly to enter into the blood of the human, right? So this flagellated the trypanosoma, it goes from salivary gland of TCC fly to blood, because this TCC fly, it is a blood sucking fly. It is a blood sucking one, right? It sucks blood. So from the, when it sucks blood, that flagellated protozoa enters into the blood of the humans, and then it moves to the lymph. From lymph it enters into the cerebrospinal fluid, and the disease which is caused by them, it is known as African sleeping sickness. And in this disease, the moment this flagellated protozoan, this trypanosoma, it start releasing the toxins, person feels sleepy, it feels lethargic, it becomes unconscious, and if that is uncontrollable, it finally leads to death. Okay, so this disease is important for you to mark. Who caused African sleeping sickness? Yes, so who caused this? That is the trypanosoma. How does it travel? Yes, so it travels through the salivary gland of TCC fly to the blood of human, then enter into lymph, then enter into the cerebrospinal fluid. Now the structure, it is this is the posterior side, this is the anterior side, okay, and there is the basal body present here. This is the basal body, and from this basal body there is arising, as you can see, this red flag, I have made it with the flagella. So this is the flagella, longer one flagella trypanosoma has, and this flagella, it attached to the body with the membrane which is known as undulating membrane. This is known as undulating membrane. Just look at the flagella. This part is outside the body, and just this portion is inner side. This inner flagella, the flagella which is present inner side, it is known as axoneme, and there are present these granules for the storage purpose, and these known as volutin granules. So example of flagellated protozoan, we have to be careful, that is the trypanosoma, and trypanosoma causes sleeping sickness. What is its more feature? It is uniflagellate, right? And which kind of parasite it is? It is endoparasite. So this is what we discussed today, that is the amoeba proteus, amoeboid protozoans, as well as flagellated protozoan and slime molds, right? So the one which are left is the ciliated and sporozoans, that I will take in my next lecture. Till then, all of you go through these protozoans, and then I will meet you with other two which are left out, that is the ciliated and sporozoans protist.